Hey guys, Anthony 4B4Ds. I love to be able to sit around and pat these pistons like pet kittens, you know, and tell you how good they are. Right, let's just put the clips there, the gudgeon pin, right, there's the piston. Oh, look at this baby, these babies, oh, you know, these are the latest, as you can see, 110 pistons. Oh, look at this beauty. Oh, these are very special. There is people that promote their, you know, their engines and pistons, and they won't tell you what they are. These are genuine Toyota, right? You know, Toyota's the big company, the one that engineered and built the cars. You know, they make the best pistons for them. You know, see, it says there, Toyota, right? Toyota, the funny thing about the engineering, you know, they make stuff good, and then if there's a problem, they find it, they fix it, right? And I still believe these are the best. I'm just having a bit of a feel around, seeing how thick they are. And yes, they're quite thick. You know, some people are saying they're not, you know, whatever. You know, of course, everybody else is an expert and they more than Toyota, don't they, right? So let's get this sucker out and have a look at it, eh? Who wants to have a look at a brand new 110 piston? I wasn't going to take it out of the bag yet. This is going to be in an engine, This is going to be in an engine any day now, in a few days, right? And then the engine will be in a car, and then the engine will be motoring down the road again, right? Now, why did the piston crack? Well, the engine that this piston's going in, right, it had a Steinbauer chip, okay? And it was a 110 piston. So it just goes to show even the latest piston, which may not be the latest, but the latest in Australia, and what you get if you buy brand new parts today, is a 110 piston. The latest isn't indestructible. That's because there's not a problem with the piston, okay? That doesn't mean they're indestructible because there's not a problem with them. Now, the engine that this piston is going in had a Steinbauer chip, and the vehicle that this engine and piston is going into had a remap, or has a remap. So might not be the last time this engine gets a piston or an engine. This car, I should say. Might not be the last time this car gets a piston or an engine. Let's see what happens, right? Now, it doesn't bother me about your chips and your tunes and whatever. I had a message from someone today, right? You know, I just, you know, read it like a book. Oh, you know, I've got a problem with, you know, and he mentioned a couple of issues like stalling and a DTC engine light with a high fuel pressure leak, and I can't, something like that. I'd have to grab the phone and, you know, have a bit of a look and work out what it was. But it's the one where you get, I can't remember the code. Is it something like 193? I don't know. Something, a high fuel pressure leak or something along those lines. And it's when there's a chip or a tune or a remap, okay? That's the only, that code, the only vehicles I've ever heard of that get that, we discovered were ones with chips. And now it's more common with vehicles with remaps or tunes, right? A tune, just because it sounds good, it's a tuney word. I'm going to give it a tune up, doesn't mean it's a good thing, right? It means remap, change software, because somebody decided they've got a program, or them and their dyno can work out a better way for your vehicle than Toyota did. Because Toyota, they're really reserved, and they've got to meet emissions, that's why they do it. No, there's a whole heap of reasons why they do what they do. And their engines and vehicles go really well the way they are. Anyway, so if you want to avoid having to replace one of these, I mean, look how solid they are, guys. I mean, there's a lot of material there. I don't know. There's a heap of material, right? You know, I mean, yeah, just, I reckon there's a lot. I mean, you know, that's not solid through there, of course, but, you know, there is oil. You know, there's an oil system of lubrication and cooling. Geez, I don't know. Yeah, nah, these are just no good. We better go get some aftermarket ones. Now, don't look at, you know, they're not clean. They got oil on them to prevent, you know, rust and stuff like that. But, you know, pretty sick, I reckon. That is sick, mate. I like it. Anyway, that was my talking crap about pistons for a few minutes. At least we didn't take too long, and at least you learnt something if you didn't know already. One of the biggest reasons we have ever heard of people getting cracked pistons is because, or when, not because of, let's say when we follow up and they have guess what? Yep, you guessed it. Chips and tunes, or remaps, or whatever you want to call it, right? Bada bing. There's your piston. It's going to go in an engine. So the biggest way, so if the majority of people hear from with cracked pistons have got chips and tunes, and not many people we know have got chips and tunes, what does that tell you? Okay, let's eliminate that. Then you've got, of course, you know, not because I said so, because it's documented by Toyota saying, you know, how, you know, you've seen the document, we've got another video, you know, and another video and another video and another video, and people complaining about too many videos, but so much information, right? It's well documented, and it's in the video showing you how Toyota have basically said injectors cause wrong combustion is what cracks the piston. It doesn't say it like that, but you need to read between the lines a bit, as explained in that video. So if you want to avoid this situation, that's cool. If you've got this situation on your hands and you would like to get your engine sorted out in the most efficient way, we can't stand waste, okay? We like value, not waste. And number one is efficiency and productivity. So that's key to us getting as much as we can done. One of the things we can do, we can offer you engine repairs through our 4x4 Diesel Workshop partners. And of course, engine replacements. Brand new long motor is my most highly recommended way to go. So you start off with a good base. You've got a brand new long motor made in Japan, comes with injectors, pipes and everything. We've got recommended installers for those engines. Particularly if you've purchased any parts off me in the VIP group, we're happy to help out and sort that out. But of course, those people, it's not going to happen to. We've got the Cracked Piston Fund, which, you know, covers engine replacement in some circumstances for some people that opted into that. And we've got an awesome bunch of people there. And if you're one of them, everybody might chuck in $20 each if it happens to someone. And you'd be surprised how many people it doesn't take at $20 to $30 each, which is pocket change, to cover an engine supplied and fitted. So awesome group to be in. Bunch of like-minded people that have done the right thing as far as prevention goes. It's probably not going to happen, but sometimes you just can't control. As I'll say it again, every time we've followed up on an engine that's got a cracked piston, it's always got a remap, a chip or a tune, or a very old flogged set of injectors. And if it hasn't got a remap, a chip or a tune, and it's had injectors done regularly or recently, maybe they were in too long, okay? And the other most least common, but the last one is contamination that's unknown. It's a bit like coronavirus, you know, you've got the known from a known source, and then you've got the from a not known source, okay? So the not known source is usually ends up being contamination, and that is, you know, the fuel test gets sent away, comes back, you know, with a problem, and usually an injector test as well. But we've also seen some injectors with contamination. So it just goes to show how tough the engines, the pistons are, and how good the injectors really are. When you get these contaminated, I haven't got them here at the moment. They're probably here somewhere. But when you get these injectors with all the contamination on the internals and they're still running so well, it's a testament to how good they really are. But anyway, guys, this was just a bit about, these are the pistons. You want to know what I recommend? These are the pistons I recommend. Brand new long motors is what I recommend. You want to do a cheaper option, you can put a piston in your engine, you can put a set of pistons in your engine, you can put pistons and rings in your engine, you can go pistons and rings and big end bearings, and you can just go on from there, you know. So there's how long's a piece of string. My belief is these engines are really strong, okay? And you might be horrified to hear what I'm about to tell you, and that is this client wanted the cheapest possible fix that was also a good fix. And I thought, well, cheaper than a rebuild and probably better than a rebuild, because when you do things right, you don't have problems. So this engine, that this piston's going in, it only done about 100,000 Ks, the one with the Steinbauer chip. So everything, the bore, everything looks good. What's going in the engine? A piston, okay? And if you're wondering how that turns out and how we go with that one, well, like always, stay tuned. That's subscribe, turn the bell on, and wait for that next video, because sometimes it'll be a video that's completely not the topic of how did that engine go with that piston. It'll be just a video, and somewhere through that video I'll say, and by the way, for anyone that's wondering how we went with that, that's for the loyal subscribers. They get the information, they get the feedback later. I understand everyone's busy and you haven't got time to watch all the videos, but That's what you need to do if you want to understand. You need to complete the study if you want to know the subject. All right, guys, thanks for watching. It's a bada bing, bada boom. That's what we're doing. We'll let you know how it goes. Hope you got something out of that. Please give us the thumbs up if you did, and catch you later.